Hi, my name's Hannah Crowley, author of Getting Through Tough Times at a Healthy Place, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about how growing up with an eating disorder and a mental illness affected my dating relationships and my romantic life. And a few people have asked me to talk about this, and actually it's quite a good question because it really had a drastic impact on my entire romantic relationship life, like all of it, because I grew up in a community where you weren't allowed to date until you were 16. So for the first few years of my life, I didn't have to really particularly worry about it. And then I got to 16 and I was already in the throes of an eating disorder, and I was already very low in the self-esteem department. And when you're a teenager anyway, your body is going through all these changes and hormones are kicking in, and it's just, life is crazy enough without having a mental illness. But, you know, I had one and I had to try and cope with it somehow. And initially, when I was first technically allowed to date, it was all my friends were talking about because, you know, we were all allowed to date and who were we going to end up marrying? And I would kind of join in but not really feel the same enthusiasm because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to be a prospective bride because I couldn't give anyone children. I was told that until I loved myself, no one would love me anyway, so I had to work on that. And that was as easy as, you know, someone telling me to eat something. I couldn't do it. So I was convinced that I would never be worthy. And so I just stayed away from it as much as I could. And I would see people superficially and go on a random date here and there, but I could never get in a relationship because I didn't want anyone to know quite how messed up and dysfunctional I was, because then they wouldn't think I was cool and then they wouldn't want to marry me, so what was the point? And it was very stressful. And then I got older and my eating disorder was getting worse and I was going in and out of hospital more and more, and I'd just come out of rehab one time and I was still very innocent. I'd had a couple of stolen kisses here and there, and then some stuff happened physically with men that I had no control over, and that left me feeling impure and even less worthy of a relationship than I'd ever felt before. And that was something else to add into the mix, and I got more, my mental illnesses turned more and more into self-loathing, and I would start to I self-harmed a lot, and I hated myself a lot. And then after that, I'd got to the stage where I'd moved out from home and I'd left the church, and I started to feel like I wasn't worth anything at all unless men physically desired me. And that was something else that was debilitating for romantic relationships, because just being wanted physically is not romantic, and being wanted by as many people as I possibly could be is not romantic. And it didn't make me feel any better than before. I just at the time feel validated and then afterwards feel empty. And it's because I didn't feel like I was worth anything. And that's something that I really want to stress at this time, that actually we are all worth something, and we are all worth more than just being superficially wanted or being cast aside because we've already told everyone that we're not good enough. We are good enough. And I want you all to know that. And my name's Hannah Crowley, author of Getting Through Tough Times at a Healthy Place, and I'll talk to you next time.